jeopardize the Department of War, Pete Hegseth will do whatever it takes. I'm here to kick bubblegum and chew ass, and you're messing with the Department of War. And we mean business. We don't stand down for anyone. Be sure to like and subscribe, all right?
Pete Hegseth loses it after South Park brutally humiliated him, but the real twist is Pete's reacting exactly the way the creators hoped, loudly, dramatically, and unintentionally proving their point. And now everyone's wondering what pushed him over the edge more, the joke itself or the fact that it was a little too accurate.
Holy shit! Shots fired! Shots fired! Get set up over there! We need content! Now! What's up, guys? Pete Hegseth, Department of War. We are being fired upon. There's an uprising here, some kind of insurrection. Be sure to like and subscribe.
Buckle up because we're diving deep into the chaos that is South Park Season 28, Episode 4, Turkey Trot, and how it absolutely roasted Pete Hegseth in ways only Trey Parker and Matt Stone could get away with. From the very moment Pete appears on screen, the show sets him up as the perfect over-the-top caricature of a media personality who takes himself way too seriously. His arrival at the South Park Police Department, all strutting and boasting about connections, and the Department of War instantly screams.
The White House is calling again. They're demanding we release the prisoner. Tell them we're busy. But they said if we don't comply, they're gonna send in Pete Hegseth and the Department of War.
Yes, this man is about to be humiliated, and the show doesn't hold back. Every line, every gesture, every ridiculous tactical plan he hatches is exaggerated just enough to make you cringe and laugh at the same time. It's like they took every absurd headline, clip, or tweet from his past and distilled it into one animated meltdown waiting to happen. From the start, it's clear that Pete is less a competent strategist and more a man obsessed with optics. He's obsessed with his social media image, constantly tweeting updates and trying to stage himself as some sort of action hero.
Who's Pete Hegseth?
Yeah! Yeah!
Yet every attempt falls flat when he lands, or rather attempts his dramatic helicopter entrance, only to be blocked by the police. The humiliation begins. There's something almost poetic about this. The man who brags about presidential connections and power immediately gets physically denied access, and he responds not with strategy, but with anger, flailing, and social media tirades. This is classic South Park taking real-world figures and amplifying their most ridiculous tendencies until the absurdity becomes unmissable.
Hey, what's up, guys? This is Pete Hegseth, the Department of War. We're here to infiltrate this police station and extract the POI.
And Pete's overreaction is the show's primary comedy engine for his storyline. As the episode progresses, his meltdown intensifies. Every minor obstacle triggers a disproportionate response. He's constantly muttering about woke liberals and imagining conspiracies, completely misinterpreting ordinary events as attacks on his authority. The opening shot of the race with Token and Cartman already sets up the absurdity, but Pete's interpretation turns it into a personal vendetta. Gunshots. He sees Antifas everywhere. A cheering crowd.
Cause that's what we do! At ease, soldier! The President of the United States orders you to release custody of the prisoner to me immediately!
He sees a threat to national security. Every innocent event becomes a reason to escalate, and the way South Park animates him losing control is hilarious. It's over the top, theatrical, and perfectly timed with the chaos surrounding the turkey trot. The genius part is how South Park weaves in his obsession with social media. Pete spends more time coordinating camera angles and planning viral content than actually thinking strategically. The parody is sharp. It's not just a roast of Pete as a political figure.
I warned you I had powerful friends!
It's a critique of how media personalities often prioritize personal branding over actual effectiveness. And as he rallies his Department of War units, we see him firing tear gas indiscriminately, mismanaging his team, and losing control entirely. The town's chaos mirrors his mental unraveling. He becomes less of a threat and more of a punchline, a walking meme in real time. Then comes the cherry on top, his interactions with Christy Gnomes. She's there to help, but Pete, in true meltdown mode, sees her presence as a threat.
All right, everyone, stand by. At ease, soldier. We heard there's a civilian uprising.
Yeah, we don't need Homeland Security's help. We got it. We're just here to assist in any way we can.
He tries to assert dominance, yelling and demanding loyalty, all while maintaining the facade of control. But he's failing spectacularly. The show frames this perfectly. Pete is hyper-focused on his self-image, yet everything he touches collapses in comedic disaster. And South Park doesn't just stop at visual gags. The writers insert subtle commentary, making Pete's reaction a meta joke about how certain media personalities handle scrutiny. They panic, they overreact, and they take themselves way too seriously.
Hey man, I don't think you understand. You're messing with the Department of War. And we mean business. We don't stand down for anyone. Be sure to like and subscribe. All right, let's do this.
The race itself, with Cartman manipulating Token and the Saudi sponsorship subplot, only amplifies Pete's meltdown. He's trying to assert control over an event that he doesn't understand, misreading the stakes entirely. When Token wins despite all of Pete's interference, his meltdown hits peak levels. He can't process that his plans have failed. The way South Park shows him reacting, screaming at his team, threatening repercussions, yet doing absolutely nothing productive is pure comedic gold.
Well, we'll see you at the race. All right, see ya.
They're teaching race science to girls now? What the hell kind of country are we living in?
Every step he takes, every gesture he makes, is exaggerated in animation to emphasize his spiraling frustration. What makes this roast even sharper is the way Pete's ego is tied to imagined authority. He constantly references Trump, the president's support, and the idea that his actions are justified by official power. Yet, in classic South Park fashion, none of this protects him from public humiliation. When the cops finally arrest him and lock him up with Peter Thiel, it's the ultimate punchline.
How about you just push the secret button in the floor over here and the jail cell doors will all open? The secret button? Yeah, it's in the floor right there. You see it? It's right there it is!
The man who flaunts connections, influence, and authority is reduced to a cellmate scenario, sputtering and insisting that everyone will regret standing against him. The absurdity is compounded because he's still acting as though he's in control, continuing his threats and ranting about vindication, even as the show visually and narratively undercuts him. The genius of his meltdown is that it's not just physical or verbal comedy, it's situational and social.
Now get your little bitch ass out of my town. Oh, you. I dare you to do that again. Oh!
Fans watching immediately see the parallels to real-life incidents where Pete has overreacted publicly, tweeted excessively, or tried to assert influence beyond what's reasonable. South Park amplifies these tendencies into cartoonish extremes, showing him with maps, tear gas, and war room setups, all while being oblivious to the fact that everyone around him sees him as a joke. Every frame of his action screams meltdown, and the audience can't help but laugh at the exaggeration.
Commitment. Strength. The ability to obliterate our enemies.
Before we dive deeper, make sure to smash that like button if you're enjoying this breakdown, and don't forget to subscribe for more updates like this. Hit the bell icon too so you never miss next explosive story. So even if they're familiar with the real Pete Hegseth, social media reactions in real life would be instantaneous if this were a real event. Fans would clip every scene of Pete misfiring with his tear gas, getting outmaneuvered by Cartman and Token, and frantically tweeting about woke liberals while losing control. Memes would circulate within hours. Pete as a chaotic commander with no actual command. Pete crying over a lost race. Pete desperately calling Trump in vain. The brilliance is that South Park anticipates this type of audience reaction and leans into it.
That is the Department of War. What's up, guys? I'm Pete Hegseth. We're outside this woke liberal town that is actually defying our government.
Essentially giving the internet the perfect material to roast Pete for months. His meltdown isn't just funny in the episode, it's designed to dominate online discourse. Even the music cues add to the comedic intensity of his meltdown. The parody of Danger Zone playing as Pete goes full tactical mode, tear gas in hand, while mismanaging his army, elevates the scene from a standard roast to cinematic chaos. It's an audio-visual exaggeration of his ego spiraling out of control. Every movement is choreographed to highlight his incompetence.
Yeah! Hey, what's up, guys? This is Pete Hegseth, the Department of War!
The way he gestures, the way he reacts to minor setbacks, the way he tries to maintain authority while clearly failing all of it contributes to a sustained sense of comedic tension that explodes in each scene. By the time the episode concludes, Pete's meltdown has reached an apex. Locked in a cell with Peter Thiel, ranting about connections and retribution, the audience is left with a perfect encapsulation of his character, someone who takes himself far too seriously, completely misreads reality, and responds to failure with theatrical rage.
Yes, Mr. President!
Hegseth, what the are you doing? Did you get Peter Thiel?
No, sir, we were unable to extract the prisoner. We were met with resistance from the woke local police force.
The show doesn't need to do anything else. The roast is complete. His meltdown is a masterclass in exaggerated caricature, blending elements of reality, past behavior, and absurdist comedy to create a figure both ridiculous and painfully human. Even if you've never followed Pete Hegseth before, the episode does the work for you. South Park condenses everything about him into a recognizable pattern: ego, overreaction, obsession with optics, mismanagement, and inability to accept failure, watching him unravel in front of the camera while chaos erupts around him.
And Hegseth, don't just make a bunch of content. Like, actually go and do something.
Be sure to like and subscribe, guys. Yes, sir, Mr. President, I will make this town pay.
Both hilarious and narratively satisfying, it's the perfect example of how South Park blends real-world satire with absurd cartoon logic. So Pete's meltdown is more than just a funny subplot, it's a social commentary wrapped in cartoonish absurdity. It highlights the dangers of ego-driven media personalities, the ridiculousness of prioritizing image over reality, and the inevitable consequences of overestimating one's influence. South Park doesn't hold back, and the audience is rewarded with a relentless parade of exaggerated incompetence, over-the-top reactions.
All right, men. We'll have a full army here by tomorrow. And then that small-town cop is gonna see he messed with the wrong guy.
An escalating chaos, all anchored by Pete Hegseth's cartoonish unraveling. By the end, it's clear that the writers intended this to be a multi-layered roast, a visual gag, a narrative joke, a social media meme factory, and a pointed commentary on ego and authority. Pete's meltdown isn't just funny, it's designed to sting, amuse, and give fans material to dissect and share endlessly. It's the kind of scene that people will reference when talking about South Park going after real-life figures.
All right, buddy. I don't know what you think you're doing, but I'm pretty sure I told you to get the hell out of my town. Oh yeah? Well, what do you think you're gonna do about it?
And it solidifies season 28, episode 4, Turkey Trot, as one of the more memorable moments in the show's long history of satirical punches. From start to finish, Pete Hegseth's meltdown in Turkey Trot is the highlight of the episode. It's not subtle, it's not gentle, and it's not forgiving. It's loud, chaotic, overblown, and absolutely hilarious. Every viewer who has followed the show or even glanced at his past antics can appreciate the depth of the roast. It's absurd, it's biting, and it perfectly encapsulates why South Park remains a master of blending satire with over-the-top comedy.
All right, guys, that about wraps it up. Let's get home and eat some turkey.
You son of a bitch! The president will come for us!
By the time the episode wraps, Pete is left in shambles. The audience is laughing, and the meme generators are running wild proof that the meltdown worked exactly as intended, both as a narrative device and a cultural statement.